Hello and welcome to 50 and Fabulous, what you've learned through the trenches. Here with Gina Anne Costigan, and we are sponsored by Main Street Mortgage. Today I have on Miss Diane Kale.
Hello.
Thank you for coming on today.
Thank you for having me.
It's been a hot second since I've been back to my podcast, so I'm so excited to have you on. And I look forward to getting into all the interesting facts that we've just kind of learned about each other in the last 15 minutes. So I think we're going to keep groups together, and we had a lot to talk about. So there are a lot of things that I've learned here today about Diane. But we are in a couple networking groups together, which is eWomen Network and also the Women's Professional Forum.
Yes.
Which is, both of them are awesome, and I'm really excited that I've had the chance to meet you there.
Thank you. Me too. I feel the same.
Yeah, most definitely. So what I've learned about you today, you come from a very small town.
I do.
And it's Pear Blossom, out near Pear Blossom. You were raised on a cattle ranch.
Yeah, cattle and alfalfa. Yep.
Alfalfa, really?
It's a 320-acre ranch.
Oh, wow.
North Los Angeles County.
Oh, okay. So did you have any other animals besides?
Oh, yes.
Did you have, I'm sure cattle, but did you have horses?
Oh, yes. I was raised, my grandfather bred cattle.
Oh, wow.
Bred horses, quarter horses for cutting and for roping.
Oh, my gosh.
I know. It was a great life. So, yeah, I had every kind
back
of...
in the day, as they say.
I know.
Just back in the day.
I had every animal you could probably think of.
That was care in the world.
Right. I mean, I lived pretty far from town. So, yeah, it was a great life. It was a great life. Very sheltered, but very great life.
Well, that's okay sometimes, I
didn't know any different.
Yeah, I think I grew up in a small town, very sheltered, and I think back now, I wish, I enjoyed it, and I didn't know anything really until I went away to college, and I saw, things at UCSB or Santa Barbara State, and I was like,
holy moly.
Yeah, what is that?
Yeah.
We've talked a little bit about you're Diane Kale, and obviously you're a health coach.
Yes, I am.
And Kale being your last name, you said you had some funny things to tell me about that.
So. Well, when people ask me if I made that last name up, I say no. I was Kale before Kale was cool.
Oh.
So I've been married for almost 36 years.
Oh,
so,
that's something to be proud of.
Yeah, I think so. So it's been,
Yeah, we talked about your husband, and you have 3 children.
Yes.
And your husband's name is Paul, and he's an electrical contractor.
Yes.
And he has a family business.
He does. He does commercial industrial manufacturing facilities.
Very cool. Very cool. And are your kids, are they college? Done with college?
Done with college.
Yay.
I know.
I've
got one that works at a law firm in Los Angeles, but she lives remote in near Paso Robles. Okay. And she has twins. My oldest has twins.
Oh, wow.
And
You're so lucky.
she's so blessed. And then her and her husband both work remote. And then my second daughter is pregnant, due in September. I know.
One grandchild.
I know, you'll get one. It's the best. And she is an occupational therapist in Tacoma, Washington. And then my son lives in the Palisades.
Very nice.
And he is almost 30, and he works for a production company that does commercials and stuff with cars.
Oh, wow.
He's a production assistant. Yeah.
So they're all doing well. And
they are.
They're all living their best lives.
It's the best.
I know. That is the best.
It's the best.
When they're on their own and living their best lives. Mm-hmm. So, back to you. You went to Northridge.
I did.
You stopped for a while. You had your family. You got to stay home, which was a blessing for 18 years.
Such a blessing.
Yeah, because that just doesn't happen anymore.
It was a blessing. Yeah. I thank my husband. I truly know it was such a gift.
Yeah, because nowadays, we were just talking about that, and it's just really hard for
rare.
Anybody to be able to afford a home, as I know, first-time home buyers, or to be able to have someone in the home stay home. So, our mom got to stay home for many years, too, and it was just, it's just those times just don't seem to be happening that much anymore. So then you decided to go back to school, and you got your bachelor's.
I did. My BS.
Your BS and your family consumer science.
Education.
And education.
Yeah, so it's all one. It's called FCS Ed, and it's family and consumer science education. My degree back in the 80s was dietetics, food science, nutrition science, heavy nutrition science background. Then I quit, stayed home and raised my children, and then I went back when I was 43. And I graduated at 46 with this degree, and it's basically at all health and human services departments. So it's really just that. I have a strong background in nutrition, but it's called Family and Consumer Science Education.
And so what made you decide that?
Honestly, I'll tell you the truth. I went back to get my degree in dietetics, and they said that my sciences were no longer useful because it had been 5 years.
Oh,
so I said, what's plan B? And this was plan B. I'm an educator. So, and I get to do that every day with my clients, is help educate them on creating healthy habits.
And that's so important. That's all part of the healthy living lifestyle.
Exactly.
So then you got into your transformational health and wellness coach who helps individuals follow their program, offering guidance on nutrition, healthy habits, lifestyle changes, and support weight loss and overall health. So, I mean, that's a mouthful in itself, but that also is something that really right now we need that. Mm-hmm. And I think for people, like we talked about earlier, we think when we go through menopause or when we think we're having problems with our weight, it is because of menopause or we're not exercising enough. That's just not the case. I mean, there are things you can do to get this weight off, or to, it doesn't matter if you run a marathon, you still have to actually eat healthy.
Well, you can't outrun a bad diet.
That's true.
You cannot outrun a bad diet.
Because sugar is that is my worst thing for me. And it's just hard to get rid of. And I try. And I eliminate bread. I can eliminate a lot of carbs. But sugar, it's just like it follows me throughout my house. Go away.
It is so true. I'll tell you, it's the most addictive substance on the planet.
It's more, I've heard
more
it's
than
like
heroin. Yeah,
I've heard it's like crack.
It's like crack, but worse.
Oh, great. But it's like, okay, if I don't buy it, then it just, it seems to still find me somewhere.
I know. But believe me, you're not alone.
No. So tell me exactly what made you go into Optivia, because that's the company that you're now representing, or they're representing you. Or
I am an independent health coach with them. So it's one of my tools I use to get my clients healthy. And how did I get in it? Mm-hmm. So I have a girlfriend that's here in town, Trisha Webster is her name. And she was my healthiest friend at the time. And I heard that she was getting people healthy. So I called her up and I said, Trisha, what are you doing? I want to do it. And she, first thing out of her mouth was, why? Why do you want to get healthy? What do you want to accomplish with your health goals? And I was like, I just want to lose some weight. I got to get rid of this baby fat, this little muffin top around my belly. And then, then she started asking me more questions and being more curious and kind of going a little bit deeper with that. Mm-hmm. And then I looked at the calendar and my son was going to be 18. And I go, okay, this is not baby fat. This is the real deal. And I've had it a long time.
And it's uncomfortable.
It's very uncomfortable. Mm-hmm. And I just, I would wake up every night with hot flashes. I thought it was menopause. Mm-hmm. So on my son's 18th birthday, September 25th, 12 years ago, I started this program. And I didn't know what I was getting myself into. I was looking for a diet. I was just looking to lose a few pounds. And then the weight started coming off very predictable. It was coming off pretty rapidly. Safe, but rapid. And I had never lost weight like that before. I was always in Weight Watch, another program where you'd lose some and then you gain it and then you'd lose some and you just never learned anything. Mm-hmm. So this program has education that comes with it. And I really started diving into the program and doing it how it was written. And I was reading the books and really taking it to heart. And because of my nutrition background, this was science-based.
Right.
The whole program and the whole way it was written is science-based. And I appreciated that because I found out that this doctor, he said he had gone to school for 12 years and never learned one thing about nutrition, which is startling to me now that I find out that is the fact. Most doctors are not learning about nutrition. So he quit his practice.
Or they want to put you on diet pills.
Or they want to put you on diet pills. Or injections.
Or the injections.
Right.
And that is what I'm hearing left and right. And don't get me going on that one. Because that just, to me, is not something that's safe. And I think we're going to see more and more problems in the next year or two. I mean, don't get me wrong. I would have loved those injections. But I'm like, what? I don't want to wake up with a third eye because 2 years from now, these injections are not safe.
Right. So, I mean, I'm going to tell you, the injections, they're working. People are losing weight. You can see the celebrities that are melting away.
They're all melting away, yeah.
But it's still not teaching them this. It's not changing any habits. It's not creating a healthy mindset. So that's where this program comes in. And honestly, I'll tell you the truth. People that are on those injections, I would love to talk to just because they're not getting enough protein because they're not hungry.
They're not hungry. And what happens when they stop coming off the injections? that weight's going to come back on.
Because they haven't changed it.
You can't stay on those forever.
Well, that's the whole idea, is that they are going to stay on them forever.
Oh, you can't?
No, that's the whole premise, is that that you're supposed to stay on them forever.
Oh, I mean, I know one person, they're actually being weaned off.
Oh, that's good. That's a good thing. So if you don't change this, the weight will come back with a vengeance, plus some. Because your fat cells don't go away. Right. They just are little empty bags, and then they wait to get filled up again. So to be able to, keep that from happening, you've got to change. My goal for my clients is that they want to become that person that is a healthy eater. And so I work my best at that. And of course, I can't want it for more than they want it, but I truly am all in with them and help them realize those goals, because it is pretty cool. My sister-in-law was my very first client.
That's what you said.
And she lost 73 pounds in 5.5 months, which is predictable. That's not uncommon.
That's a lot of weight.
She did it very safe. She read the books. She did the workbooks. She did it all. She was so into this program, and she lost the weight, and she's kept it off, got off. Well, she was put in the hospital with pancreatitis because of her blood pressure medicine, is what the doctor said. And then she almost died. And it was very scary.
Yeah.
So she saw that I had lost weight. What are you doing, Diane? I told her. She was my first client, which was kind of cool. And yeah, she's been able to keep the weight off. And it's just, she changed this. She learned how to eat properly. She learned to eat little bits throughout the day, which is science-based. Right. Keeps your blood sugars level all day, keeps the insulin pump off, and it keeps you feeling good. And you stay ahead of the hunger.
You stay ahead. And that's true, because prior to 2016, I could eat anything. Right. I was real tiny. I just never, I would eat in bed. I was the worst. Anything like hamburgers,
eating like a
teenager. Yeah. And I just thought it was normal to be that way. But no, not so much. And then I got sick with my epilepsy, and I was an adult onset, and I went through a lot of rounds of being in and out of hospitals. Right. And then when I finally was at USC, and the doctor did come in the room and says, we have good news and bad news. The bad news is you'll be on medication the rest of your life. And I'm like, okay, that's pretty good. That's pretty good news, actually. But it's treatable. So I'm like, I walked away with, thinking I just won the lotto, because I've been through, HE hockey sticks. Really? It was a really tough, rough journey. 5 months. Yeah. So she didn't tell me I was going to gain a little weight. I gained 25 pounds in the first, I think, 4 or 5 months of being on the medication, because it wasn't you were hungry, you were ravenous.
Oh,
it was awful. I never been at work, and I was just like, what is wrong with me?
Wow.
It was terrible, and I wasn't driving, so I didn't have a car, so I'd be bringing my lunch. I had a little, I remember I had a little, not like a lunch pail, like a little ice cooler, and that was my lunch pail. How much food was in there? My daughter's like, what are you bringing? But I was like, well, I can't leave, so I'm just going to bring all my lunch with me. But I had to learn after that. I went through many different things. I tried everything under the sun. I even thought I was going to cure myself, went off all the meds, and said, I'm not taking them anymore. I haven't had seizures for a couple months. And I had the worst 4, ended up back in the hospital, lost my license for 6 months. So that was just not going to work. So no, I'm not cured. No. And I had to learn different ways. And it's still, it's
I don't think that's uncommon, though. I think that people just...
Oh, people do.
Yeah.
And I always say, why would you ever go off your meds? Well, I was one that did it. Not that when you're supposed to take them for that type of reason. Yeah. It's been a battle, and it's annoying. And I am an exercise advocate.
Sure.
I work out 5 days a week minimum. I'm 6, I try. But it's like you said, it doesn't matter. It helps me mentally and stress level. It does help, because I always say if I didn't work out, I might have less friends, because I'd probably be so cranky all the time. But my working out helps my whole lifestyle. Yes. And you're fortunate, because you look forward to it. I love it. Yeah. I love it. I do like it. I change it up, from a Peloton to the weights. Then I have another.
You're all in.
Yeah, I go walking with my daughter. It just whatever I can do, I do.
Yeah.
But still, it's what you put in your mouth. That's what I've had to learn too. I just worked out for 2 hours,
Believe me, I hear it all the time.
And then if you work out, you get home late, and it's like you're not supposed to eat late, but then you don't work. It's just all
Well, with this program, sometimes exercise could inhibit the weight loss. You may not lose weight too much, because there has to be a balance of energy in, which is food, and energy out, which is exercise, and there has to be a balance. And if you're exercising too much, it's off balance, and
I remember that,
and the weight won't come off. So we just modify the program.
You modify it.
You just eat more food.
Yeah,
You know?
and I remember doing, different programs, and like I said, it's
Yeah.
just different. You just got to learn and what works best for you.
Yeah.
But the idea
Exactly.
is, eating healthy, and everyone says it, but you have to learn what your weakness is. But like I said, mine's sugar.
Yeah.
But I'd love to learn more from you, and you're so informative, and you're so involved. We've talked about you're involved with the Malibu Chamber.
Yep. Palibu, they call it now. They reform.
It's now past. What is it?
Palibu.
Palibu.
Yeah, it encompasses Malibu and
Malibu
Palisades.
And then you are health and wellness. You're active professional, and you were named Women Leadership Woman of the Year.
Yes, I
That
was.
is awesome.
Ah, thank you. It was
Congratulations.
quite the surprise. They are just so, they're so
Well,
wonderful.
they're lucky to have you.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, Barbara Brudelin, she's amazing. She's the CEO of the chamber. She runs a good show over there, I have
I've
to
heard.
say. Yeah, she's amazing.
I actually went to dinner with Miss Julie Spear one night, and she had a gift certificate, $25. We went to Duke's.
Right, good.
And it worked. We're like, hey, we'll take it.
She knows how to work it.
It was from the chamber.
She has such a passion for that chamber.
She
she loves
does.
it with all her
Awesome.
heart and soul, truly. So we are lucky.
Well, and I want to invite you to my group, my networking group, and it's Women, Health, and Wealth. And it's
Love
something
it.
that I actually started with my dear friend Lucy, but she's traveling quite a bit now and living a little bit different. She's exporting and doing all kinds of things with her husband. And
I love that.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So I kept up the group, and we're having a great time. And I'd love for you to come to the next meeting. I'll give you a little bit more information.
Yeah,
about it.
I would love that. I say when I talk to people, it's like you can't have wealth without health.
No, you cannot.
They go hand in hand, and it's like it's all for naught
Right.
if you don't have your health.
Right.
My mom used to always say, health is wealth, and I feel like a millionaire.
Yeah.
And I want people to feel like that because you know what? A lot of people have forgotten how good feels.
Right.
They have forgotten that.
Right.
So I've forgotten it, and now I can honestly say I'm in better shape and healthier than I've been in 40 years.
That's like that's
kind of crazy.
That's kind of crazy.
It's every day it's a choice.
It's every day.
Mhm.
And I agree. It's like anything that's worthwhile in your life, you got to work at.
100%.
And I taught my girls that, and they know that now.
Yep.
And I know that we've learned that. And if you want anything, you got to go after it, and you got to work hard for it.
I 100% agree
Even
with
if it's freaking not eating my sugar.
that. Well, you just kind of you got to go back to your why.
And my why is I shouldn't eat it. That's why.
Yeah.
But that's just that. Yeah, that's my why with that. It's best if I just don't start.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for being
Absolutely.
on, and I look forward to learning more from you. And I look forward to seeing you maybe at the next Women, Wealth, and Health.
That would be very fun.
Yeah, and I look forward to maybe learning more about the chamber in Malibu.
You're definitely going to be invited to that.
Well, thank
for
you.
Sure.
I'm sure I'll see you on Friday at Women's Professional Forum.
Yep.
It's on Friday.
Yep.
So. Anyways, we're just finishing up here our
Excellent.
50 and Fabulous, what we've learned through the trenches, and I have learned a lot here. And thanks.